This conference will now be recorded.
Hi, sir. Now you are able to.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Very good. Let's start our session. So up to now, we discussed a lot many things. What is cyber security? We discussed. What is SOC analyst in the cyber security? We discussed. In the SOC analyst, what is SIEM tool will do? In the SIEM tools, what Splunk will do? Okay. Now we are talking about Splunk. So again, within 5 minutes, I'm trying to give clarity on all this information. Cyber security. Cyber security is a practice of cybersecurity is the practice of protecting networking devices and sensitive information from unauthorized accesses. Okay. So it is a practice. Okay. To achieve this practice, there are multiple modules are there. To achieve this practice, there are multiple modules in the cybersecurity, like ethical hacking, VAPT, IAM, risk and governance and compliances. Okay. Or like palm tools. Okay. Okay, some other tools like cloud security are there, different modules like multiple. SIEM is another module, IR is another module, incident response. Okay, threat intelligence, threat hunting, multiple 180 plus modules are there. In that, SOC analyst is the major important module and one of the best component in the cybersecurity. In the SOC analyst is nothing but security operational center. So it is used to quickly detect and respond to internal and external attacks. If any suspicious things happened in the real time, okay. So as a SOC team or security analyst, you need to understand that suspicious, and you need to identify that suspicious, and you need to report it, and we need to respond to that activity. For this process, these guys needs to be continuous integration. Sorry, continuous monitoring. Continuous monitoring. In the continuous monitoring and regular checks, they need a tool. They need a tool. That tool we call it as SIEM tool, Security Information and Event Management tool. If we talk about security information and event management tool, there are n number of tools are there. But on that, the popular most important tools are Splunk, IBM Curator, ELK Stack, and Sentinel. Okay. So HP Oxide, some people are teaching Wazoo, open source tool. Okay. Whatever it may be. Okay. One second. హలో, ఈరోజు వస్తుందని చెప్పాడు, రేపుకి చెప్పుకో. ఈరోజు వస్తుందని చెప్పాడు. జెన్యునే అప్లై చేశాను. లాస్ట్ ఇయర్తే వచ్చేది, లేటెస్టే. ఫామ్ 16 పంపిస్తే, ఫామ్ 16 పంపించిన తర్వాత నీకు ITR లో కనిపిస్తుంది. Okay. So SIEM. So in that SIEM, there are multiple are there, but we are talking about Splunk and other things. But if you talk about especially a Splunk has multiple options. Okay, it can be used for multiple purposes. As I said, like Splunk can be suitable for SIEM, Security Information and Event Management. Splunk is suitable for IT and DevOps operations. Splunk is suitable for observability. Splunk is suitable for business analytics and data analytics also. Okay, these many possibilities are there in the Splunk. Whatever it may be, Splunk, whatever the course we are talking, That course is exclusively for Splunk analyst and a SOC analyst. Splunk analyst and a SOC analyst. So in that both is common with the analyst. Analyst is the role or a person who is doing data analysis. Analysis or analytics is nothing but a process of doing analysis or deep dive into the data. Okay. For doing data analytics or doing analysis, you need a data. In that case, three types of data are there. One is structured, semi-structured, unstructured data. Structured data, CSV file. Semi-structured data, JSON, Avero, XML, other things. Whereas unstructured data, major important example is log file. Apart from log file, there are multiple are there, but major is log file. Log file is nothing but a mission generated data. All the activities, operations, and performances of the devices will be maintained in the some system or a data storage. That data we call it as a mission generated data. Mission generated data. Understand, sir? Okay. Now, what is the benefits of mission generated data? We already explained. If it is a structured and semi-structured, only human confirmed data. Whereas if it is a mission generated data, it is even activities, operations, and performances which was not confirmed by human also, the data will be stored somewhere based on your activity, operations, and performances, so that you can easily understand every piece of information about the activity. So that mission data having a more content, so one of the best option to get more information. Okay, now come to Splunk. Okay, so in that case, what is Splunk? Simple understanding and a command. So the Splunk is a one of the tool which makes your mission data accessible, usable, and valuable to everyone. Why? Because mission data is not understandable. It is in the unstructured format. It is not at all suitable for data analytical process. Okay, so for that we need a tool called Splunk. Splunk makes your data understandable and usable and accessible. Understand, sir? Now, as Splunk is a software platform to search, analyze, and visualize the mission-generated data gathered from websites, applications, sensors, IoT devices, etc., which makes your IT infrastructure and business well. Understand, sir? Simple, it is a search platform. Okay, it is used to search, analyze, and visualize the mission-generated data, not mission-generated data, any type of data. Okay, gather from any devices. Okay, simply Splunk analyze the mission data and pulls it into multiple systems in the real time. What is mission data? You know, mission data is nothing but, okay, so mission generated data is nothing but log files which stores all activities, operations, and performance of the devices like sensors, routers, IoT devices, and sensors, servers, websites, and applications, and cloud services, etc. Okay, examples of mission generated data: application logs, server logs, business processing logs, call detail records, and sensor data is the primary examples of mission generated data. Let's say, for example, if it is a sensor, if it is a cloud service, if it is a IoT device, if it is a mobile device, if it is a website, whatever it may be, the data is in the form of unstructured format, that is in the mission data. It is in the form of unstructured data. Unstructured data is not at all suitable. See, the mission generated data is complex to understand and in the form of unstructured format. And also, it is not suitable for analysis, visualization. I need something that fast and efficient to make better visualization and analysis. So in that case, the Splunk is the tool. So in the market, I check for the tools. There are multiple tools in the market like Sumo Logic, Lazily, Splunk, Greylogs, ELK, okay, IBM Curator, HP Oxide, SolarWinds, McAfee, SIEM tool, RSA Envision, Logarithm, Netcool, Dynatrace, Dap Dynamics, Negios, Datadog, Logstash, Lazily. I already told you na, n number of tools are there which was supported for connecting the data from log files. Then why we are talking a top in the Splunk? So this is our class today. So why Splunk instead of other tools? This is our class today. There are multiple tools are there now. Then why we are going with Splunk? Understand? So for understanding this, I will try to explain you one entire concept. of process, but it is to understand how the process is happened in the real time. Okay, not to understand why Splunk exactly. Okay, so today class is to understand where we are standing. Okay, what is the possibilities of things in the Splunk, main important things in the Splunk. So the first most important point in the Splunk is why we are going with Splunk is the huge storage capacities in the form of clusters. The first most important point why we are going with Splunk is the huge storage capacities in the form of clusters. I'm trying to explain this. This sentence. Huge storage capacities in the form of clusters. What it means? For understanding this, I will try to explain one story. Please observe. All of you know that in generally, sir, this all in generally just for understanding the concept. Okay. For you, no need this one. For understanding is more important. Okay. Only one point is enough for you. That is, use storage capacities in the form of clusters is enough. But for understanding that, you need to see this concept. Okay. Now see. You all know that for example, there is a HDFC bank. In the HDFC bank, you have a account. You are trying to send some money to your friend, so that you open your app, internet banking, and you provide your credentials like username and password, and it will be open in front of you, so that you just check your account balance, and after that you just add your beneficiary. If it is not there, if it is there, you just select your beneficiary, and after that what you do, you need to select that account and you need to transfer the money what you want. And if you click on confirm, the money will be detected from your account and that will be credited to the friend's account. First the money will be detected from your account, then only the money will be credited to friend's account. Okay, this is happening. This right now I am telling now, all these will be considered as a acid properties, ACID, acid properties. Call it as a transactions. Call it as a transactions or acid properties. All this will be maintained where? Yes, they will use to maintain the data in the databases. Okay, so it's all depends upon the company. They have a different databases. Okay, the most popular databases are, for example, MySQL or NoSQL. So basically, not NoSQL. MongoDB. This is RDBMS. This is NoSQL database. Okay. The most popular databases are RDBMS databases, relational database management systems. It is more comfortable, reliable, and faster in performance. Okay. Whereas NoSQL database is also good. Okay. Well, compared to RDBMS, it is good in capacity. But some drawbacks are there in the NoSQL databases. Okay. But whatever it may be, most of the companies are using RDBMS database still, even though they have some drawback here. Okay, we are good in performance wise, reliable and flexible. RDBMS databases. Okay, MySQL, Oracle, SQL servers, these all are RDBMS database, relational database management systems. NoSQL example is MongoDB. Okay, but depends upon the requirement and use cases, they can use their databases. But you need to understand RDBMS are good in okay, RDBMS is weaker in capacity. RDBMS are weaker in capacity, sir. You don't have that much of capacity to store. Whereas NoSQL databases are DBs are good in capacity, but weaker in batch processing. Sir. There are two types of processes are there, sir. One is online process. Another one is batch process. Online process means online real-time process. Batch means historical process. Let's, for example, in HDFC Bank itself, I am trying to tell you. You are trying to check your own balance, and you are doing your own transactions, and you are checking your own account statements. This is all considered as a online process. Batch processing. End of the month, manager will add some interest rates to your account balance. Some of the people will do FDs, fixed deposits. For them, they used to add interest rates quarterly, monthly, like that. And also, he will calculate. Branch manager will calculate a total amount left in their accounts of the end of the month. Okay. Next, in March end, there is a bank auditing, financial year auditing. Okay. Entire process will be batch process. Understand, sir? Batch processing. So in that case, if you try to use a batch processing, NoSQL databases are not good. They are weaker in batch processing. Whereas RDBMS databases are good in both processing, but only weaker in capacity. You got my point? Now you have a data in the data, whatever the database it should be, sir. Okay, you have a data in the database. Okay, let's say assume that 2 years data is in your database, whatever the database it should be. Okay, 2 years data is in the database. Now I want to check what is the total sales done by last 2 years. Where you want to search? You need to search for the data. It is batch processing only, but you need to search for the database, whatever the database, and you need to write some SQL query. Okay, SQL client query, or a Tableau, or a Power BI, or some other data analytical tools. We'll use and we'll try to do data analysis. Understand? Do data analysis. Got my point, sir? Huh? Now my question is, all your data is in the databases, and it is storing all the transactions real-timely happen in the HDFC Bank application. And other hand, you are trying to query and you are creating a visualizations. What will happen to the database? Performance issue. Let's say right now I am connected in real time. I am teaching the class. Somebody call me from outside. Okay. So I just gave an answer with my hand. That is okay. That is a small operation that won't disturb your class. But I want to go there. It is a big operation. What will happen? Your real-time operations will be disturbed. Got my point? Yes or no? If it is a small analysis like day-to-day analysis or basic analysis, you can do directly on the database. But if it is a complex analysis, it is not recommendable. Why? Your database gets slowed up. So that's why what they done in the real time, whatever the data is growing day by day, okay, very latest data will be maintained on the databases, and with the latest and historical will be maintained on the storages, separate storages. Let's say, for example, magnetic tapes in 2000s, sir. I'm talking on the in 2000s. Did you heard about the magnetic tapes anytime? Floppies is different. In 2000s, they used to store the data in these magnetic tapes. But what is happened within the 2000, this magnetic tape is too hectic process on the maintenance. If you want to do maintenance process, entire tape data needs to be transferred to another tape, and you need to do the maintenance for this tape. It is too hectic process and too cost also. And after that, earlier to maintain the data in the floppy disk. Do you heard about the floppy disk? But it is in one of the best on the time. Floppy disk is one of the best on the time. But unfortunately, what will happen? It is cheaper in storage. Storage very small, 5 MB, 10 MB, like that it will be. So that if you want to store a huge amount of data, it will be taking lakhs of floppies you need. And if you keep lots of floppies in the racks, there is a chance of rust this plate. So if you form the rust through this plate, entire data will be lost. That is the issue on the time. But anyway, so many days they used to use that floppies. After that, did you heard about this? CDs and DVDs. So CDs and DVDs is the one of the best on the time. Okay, so it create a miracle on storages. Okay, CDs, DVDs. Okay, even we purchased the CDs, but anyway, CDs and DVDs are too costly at time. Why? Because one CD will go up to 1.2 to 1.3 GB of storage, and the DVD it will goes to 2.3 to 2.4 GB of data. Data you can maintain. GBs you will get. Office MBs only. Whereas here GBs you will get, but one CD cost of 50 to 60 rupees, and see DVD 80 to 100 rupees, 120 also. Sometimes it is too costly at that time. Okay. But anyway, so many people are using that CDs and DVDs to maintain their storages. Even still, I have a CDs and DVDs with my data in my home. But there is a lot possibilities to corrupt your data. A small scratch also will corrupt your data. I don't know. I have a CDs with my data, but I don't know it is working or not. Even you will find DVD players. Still, DVD writers. Yes, sir. I think 2000 to 1500 that will be cost. Understand? Still, we are in the same platform. Like we will see that things. After that, people used to see work with the pen drives and HDD hard disk and SSDs. And now M-SATA, M2, M.2, like that, multiple are there. Latest. And after that, they used to store the data in the actually instead of before this hard disk pen drives and everything. Before I have something like sandbox, sandboxes, sandboxes, not cloud actually. It is a device. So sand storage. It is a device actually. So these are the devices which will be connected within the network. SAN means storage area, so storage attached network. Okay. NAS means network attached storage. I think so. So storage area network, network attached storage. Storage area network, network attached. So these all are the sandboxes, and this will be connected within the network and combined with the different devices into one device and store the data. One of the best on that. Still, companies are using these sandboxes, sand storages. Even if you observe, I'll show you some example. Splunk.com. So add data, for example. I'm uploading some data into Splunk. Download some tutorial index. Click on it. See. The Splunk platform stores incoming data as events in the selected index. Consider using a sandbox index. Basically, sandbox is nothing but computer storage is different. It will be something like from platform to store whatever the data you want in the form of specific storage. Okay. For example, pen drive. Pen drive don't need any computer. Same sandbox also don't need any computer. After that, computer will be attached and query your data. Understand?
Sandbox or a
Sandbox, both will be same process. Both are same. It's actually storage boxes actually. Okay, storage. Actually, this is a process. Index is nothing but storage actually. Okay, so even people are using some sandboxes. Okay, in the form of storages. Okay, sandbox. That means storage area network or NAS. SAN and NAS. What is that NAS? Network attached storage. Okay, so these are the then pen drives, hard disk, hard drives, whatever HDDs, SSDs are there come into the picture. Okay, still if you want to work with this type of data, the data is here and the computer needs to be attached for doing the analytical process. So it is too ethic process on that time. Okay, so that's why people decided to make a backup for making the backups and for feature reference they start using these storages. Okay, in 2006 we got data teradata teradata, the first data warehouse. 2006, not 2004, sir. 2004. The first Teradata data warehouse came into the picture. What is this Teradata means? If you want to do data analytics, it's separate platform for doing the data analytics. Separate platform for applying the data analytics. Anybody who are doing data analytics or data processing, okay, from this platform only they used to do. That means whatever the data needed for the data analyticals, they used to maintain the data in the Teradata. Okay, Teradata has its own computer system. Okay, it will process your data, and from there, Power BI, Tableau, everything, other tools will connect it. Even Splunk can connect it and query the data and create a reports and visualization. Even Splunk also you can connect, no problem. Understand? Because 2003 only Splunk came, and before Teradata. Understand? So now Teradata data warehouse came into the picture. So it is completely purely for data analytics. But unfortunately, Teradata at the time industry standards are saying that not greater than 400 TB. It won't. So it will be good enough up to 400 TB. Good up to 400 TB only. Good up to 400 TB. Understand, sir? But business use cases keep on growing. Data is keep on growing now. 400 TB is not sufficient at that time. People are facing a problem again on storage. Then in 2006, actually it was came. Actually 2005, sorry, 2005. But it start using from 2011 to 12. In between 2011 and 12, it was used. Start using. Okay, that is Hadoop. Not came. Still not came. What is it? The year? What is that year? 2011. 2006 cloud came into the picture. 2005 Hadoop, the big data. Hadoop, the big data came into the picture. So you can maintain unlimited data. Actually, mother and father of the storages is Hadoop. Present కూడా మనం ఆశ్రయించేది అనుసరించేది మొత్తాన్ని అడుగుతాయి. మనం బతుకుతున్నాం అంటే పూర్వీకులు అంటారు కదా, అలానే మన స్టోరేజెస్ అన్ని చేంజెస్ అవ్వడానికి కారణం అడూప్. అడూప్ ఈస్ ద మాస్టర్ అండ్ father and mother of the storages. No, come in, wait. Hadoop, you can maintain unlimited data. How it was changed entire operations. Hadoop will be work with a HDFS file system, basically storages. HDFS means Hadoop distributed file system. Hadoop distributed file system, DFS. Now cloud, AWS, Azure, GCP, all are using DFS on. Even Splunk also using DFS on. Distributed file system. Even RDBMS databases also will follow the file system on. That means if you store your data, the data will be stored in the form of file. For example, D drive, E drive, C drive. On the drive, folders will be there. On the folders, there is a files will be there. Okay, that's a file path. This. The data will be in the form of files. Okay, and the files will be in the form of compressed, and the compressed is in the form of encryption. So Hadoop distributed file system, compression, and also encryption for safety. For safety purpose, encryption is also unlimited data, HDFS file system, compression storage, and encryption storage. Now unlimited data. How this Hadoop is maintaining unlimited data? How? There is a word called in the form of clusters. In the form of on-prem clusters. On-prem clusters. In the form of on-prem clusters. What is cluster? What is cluster? Cluster is nothing but group of servers. Group of servers. On-prem is nothing but maintaining that group of servers in company premises only. That group of servers in company premises only. Company premises only. Understand, sir? On-prem clusters means, for example, one server having 1 TB, sir. If you have a 10 servers, how much storage? 10 TB. If you have 100 servers, 100 TB. That is called on-prem clusters. One server, we just say it as a, basically, if you want to understand this cluster concept, see, cluster is nothing but like this. This is one server, this is 2 server, this is 3 server, this is 4 server, this is 5 server, this is 6 server. For this storage, one server storage, 2 server, 4 server, 6 server storage. Combinedly call it as a entire storage. Entire storage, call it as a cluster. Cluster is nothing but group of servers capability. You can create multiple clusters also in this. Cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, cluster 4. Your wish. Understand, sir? Like that, how much storage you will get, sir? Unlimited storage. Okay. Here, one of the possibility is there are 2 options are there, sir. As a data persons, you need to understand this. You are a data persons. Are you working on data? You are going to work on data? Yes, you are data person, sir. You are going to work on data. You are going to deal on data. Okay. So please remember. Okay. If somebody talk about a Power BI Tableau, they are telling as I am a data analyst. I am a data analytics. Okay. You just tell me I am also a data analyst. I am a data analytics. I am a good enough in data analytics. Why? Because whereas Power BI Tableau, these guys are telling as I am proudly saying as a data analyst, simply they are working as structured and semi-structured. If you give unstructured data, they will sit ideal. But you guys, after our classes, you can do unstructured, structured, semi-structured. Now tell me how you are the data analyst or that guys are the data analyst. గట్టిగానండి గట్టిగా ప్రౌడ్గా చెప్పొచ్చు. Why? Because so many people are come to the front office ask that data analyst course is there or not. Okay, data analyst is not a course, it is a role. Normally process జరిగిన తర్వాత చేస్తారు. They don't know how to process unstructured data. ఇంజనీరింగ్ టీమ్ ఆ పని కూడా నువ్వే చేస్తావు చూడు. ఇప్పుడు అదే నేను చెప్పబోతున్నా. అంతా ఇది డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ కాన్సెప్ట్.
అలాగైతే సోర్స్ ఇవన్నీ ఎక్కువ కదా
వెయిట్ వస్తుంది చూడు. So now I said that Hadoop is the in the cluster format. So it is in the only drawback is on premises. On premises means, for example, I am telling that 100 servers in one cluster, one more 100 servers in another cluster. For example, 10 clusters means 10 hundreds, 1000 servers. 1000 servers you need to purchase. And then you need to investment. More space also. You need more space, workspace, and climate controller. For example, if you feel 1000 servers is not enough, again 1000 servers you need to purchase. That means investment, wastage, limitation, okay, maintenance overhead, time taken to install everything on the systems, no disaster record. If something happened, boom. These all are the problems in the on premises. That means forget about the problems. Now talk about Hadoop. Hadoop is good enough on storage capabilities. It can maintain unlimited data in the form of clusters, and the two very best option, that is HDFS file system, distributed file system, Hadoop distributed file system. Okay, present cloud is for doing that only, DFS, not HDFS, DFS, distributed file system. Splunk also will be a distributed file system. Files will be stored in the form of, so data will be stored in the form of files. Whatever the data you are providing, that will be stored in the form of files. The files will be in the compressed, that will be encrypted. Let's say, shall I show it? I showed some data in the Splunk. Right now, tutorial data I stored. Na? I selected tutorial data and I stored. Na? If I stored, Splunk will store like this. See, program files, Splunk. There is a etc. Sorry, where there is a lib. There is a Splunk. So tutorial index. The data is in tutorial index. Okay. I already told you now some buckets, hot bucket, warm bucket. See, DB is hot bucket and warm bucket. Both are in DB, main DB. That is cold bucket. Trojan bucket not defined. Hot bucket for re-indexing.
Sir, what is the last one?
Hot bucket, warm bucket, cold bucket, frozen, thwart. THAWAD. Thwart. Not re-indexing bucket. Frozen is a arcade. Actually, frozen deleted. Frozen path or frozen script is a arcade. Okay, here frozen is not defined. That's why it is deleted. Frozen bucket also defined. So the frozen path will come now. There it will be archived. Save out. Frozen. Thwart shape a re-indexing process. Whatever the arcade data will be re-indexed by using a thwart. For example, you have a frozen path. That path data needs to be moved to thwart. Then only Splunk will understand for re-indexing process. Understand? So now DB, you check. This is the database. Now see, this is the raw data. Journal. Journal is nothing but basically zip file. So in the compressed format, it was stored. File in the file format. And if you open this one, you can't read this file because encrypted. Same file system used in the Hadoop. Actually, the Splunk was designed by a people called three people: Michael, Rob, Irkspan. Michael, Rob Das, Irkspan. In that, one guy is fully worked on Hadoop systems. He's a Hadoop specialist, distributed file system specialist. One guy is coder, one guy is business technician, business person. Understand? Now you understand, sir? Now only problem with Hadoop is on-prem. On-prem is nothing but more investment, wastage, limitation, time taken, no disaster recovery, everything you need to take care about it, everything you need to do. But anyways, people are start using Hadoop. Okay. In simple understanding in entire now, databases like a car. You can travel up to 5 to 10 people. Okay. Whereas MongoDB like a Thavera car, 15 to 16 people. Okay. So normal SUV is a MySQL database, no RDBMS database. Whereas Thavera big traveling cars are there, that will be a MongoDB. Okay. Now come to Teradata. It is a bus, not more than 10, 50 to 80 people. Whereas Hadoop is nothing but train. You can travel unlimited people. So one bogie, call it as a cluster. On the bogie seat is call it as a server. Understand? So one seat you can go same like that. For example, here you need to understand one concept as a data persons. One is vertical scaling, and other one is horizontal scaling. Vertical scaling means, for example, here in this concept, Hadoop I am telling. Hadoop only I am telling. Or normal I will tell, sorry. First normal I will tell. Vertical scaling means if this is a server, this server having 16 GB RAM and 500 GB hard disk. You are not feeling sufficient. What you will do? 16 to 32 GB, 500 to 1 TB. Still you are not feeling. So 32 to 64 GB, 1 TB to 2 TB. Now you have a 2 TB and 64 TB. You feel it is very huge. Then reduce 64 instead of that 16 GB or 500 GB. Depends of your usage. Increasing the resources within the computer and decreasing the resources within the computer, call it as vertical scaling. Scale down and scale up. Scale up and scale down. Increasing the resources within the computer. Scale up. Decreasing the resources within the computer. Scale down. Understand, sir? No. Still 64 GB RAM, sir, and 2 TB storage, sir. Now I am not happy with that. What you will do? Scale up. But your hardware will support? No. Based on your hardware, the scale up will be or scale down will be limited. Scale up and scale down will be limited. Got my point, sir? Scale up and scale down will be limited based on your hardware. If you want to increase more, entire hardware system needs to be changed. That's why instead of going with scale up and scale down, people will go with the horizontal scaling. Increasing servers. One more server, third server, fourth server, fifth server. Now you have a 10 servers. You feel it is very high. Just reduce 5 servers. You have only 5 servers. You are not sufficient. Go with 10 servers. That means increasing the servers and decreasing the servers in the entire environment.
Vertical scale ki server tarvata em attach chesaru sir?
Within the server you can change. వర్టికల్ స్కేలింగ్ అంటే సర్వర్ లో నువ్వు పెంచడం హార్డ్వేర్. నీ మొబైల్ ఉంది, నీ మొబైల్ సైజు పెంచుకోవడం పెర్ఫార్మెన్స్ కోసం, ర్యామ్ కానీ స్టోరేజ్ కానీ పెంచుకోవడం అయినా సరిపోవట్లా. కొత్త మొబైల్ కొనుక్కోవడం, లేదా మూడో మొబైల్ కొంటాం, నాలుగో మొబైల్ కొంటాం, హారిజాంటల్ స్కేల్. దీన్నే స్కేల్ అప్ అండ్ స్కేల్ అవుట్ అండ్ స్కేల్ ఇన్ అంటారు. స్కేల్ అవుట్ అండ్ స్కేల్ ఇన్ అంటారు. అంటే స్కేల్ అవుట్ ఏమో సర్వర్లు పెంచడం, స్కేల్ ఇన్ అయితేనేమో సర్వర్లు డౌన్ చేయడం. అర్థమైందా? సో do you understand? This is vertical scaling, sir. Within the computer, you are increasing the resources and decreasing the resources. Within the environment, you are increasing the servers and decreasing the servers is a horizontal scaling. Yes or no? Now, in the cluster point of view, this is different. In the cluster point of view, cluster is nothing but group of servers. That means one cluster is nothing but one server. Cluster is nothing but one server. Cluster storage capability is decided with multiple servers, na? Yes or no? For example, in the cluster point of view, increasing the nodes in the cluster and decreasing the nodes in the cluster is called vertical scaling. Why? Because cluster is nothing but server, na?
Yeah.
On the server, capacity will be nodes. You are increasing the nodes and decreasing the nodes is a vertical scaling. You are increasing the clusters and decreasing the clusters is a horizontal scaling. That's it. Understand? Normal is this one, sir. Within the one server, you are increasing the resources and decreasing the resources is a vertical scale. Okay. You within the environment, you are increasing the servers and decreasing the servers is a horizontal scaling. But cluster point of view, capacity was decided with multiple nodes, na? Okay. Increasing the nodes in the cluster and decreasing the nodes in the cluster is a vertical scaling. Increasing the clusters and decreasing the clusters is a horizontal scaling. Why? Because this is entirely called it as one storage, one capacity. Got my point, sir? Now you understand the concept. Okay. Now the same concept will be implemented on Splunk. For example, you have a one storage. You are not enough to store this data. You can implement vertical scaling for this server. You can implement, you can increase the size. That is vertical scaling. Still, you are not happy with vertical scaling. Just go with another server. Next, go with another server. You can just make that into one cluster. Still, one cluster is not enough. You just go with another cluster. That is also possible. Within the one cluster, nodes and increases. Within the server, you can increase the hardware also. Otherwise, clusters also increased. The same concept will be implemented on Splunk. Same. That's why use storage capacities in the form of clusters. Got my point? Like Hadoop. You got my point? Same. These also will be on-prem clusters. Splunk also on-prem clusters. Got my point, sir?
Yeah.
Now come to the concept. Sir, Hadoop is doing best now. And doing from the Hadoop itself, people are used to query the data and create data analytics. But what is the problem with Hadoop? On-premises. So that on-premises means you need to invest more money, na? Yes. So people fed up with that investment. Why? Because day by day analytical processes are increasing. So many people are data scientists, data engineer, data mining people, data analyst people. Multiple people are working on the data, so that the data needs to be processed huge. In that case, implementations also will be complex. People are fed up with that storage, that investments. That's why what they are done, they are done before cloud. Not at cloud came 2006, sir, but it was popular in 2015-16. It came on 2006 only, but it was popular on 2015-16. But 10 years, what they have done? What they done is they try to limit the data. Instead of onboarding entire data into Hadoop, they decide that what is our business rules. Okay, based on the business rules, they used to get the data into Hadoop. Storage, reducing the storage capabilities, sir. If you reduce the storage capabilities, architecture also will be reduced. So that investment also will be reduced. Na? Got my point? Wait. We are in 2006 only, sir. Wait. Don't come to 2016. Okay. We are in 2006. Now we'll talk on 2006 only. What happened? People decide that to reduce the capabilities of storages based on the business rules. If you want to reduce it, means data transformation is needed. That's why people introduce a ETL. Extract, transform, and load. So ETL tools like data, Informatica, data stages, talent, ADF. Did you heard about it? Edu Data Factory. Huh? All these are the people they used to extract the data from the different sources, and they will transform it, customize it, filter it, and remove the duplicates. Whatever the data needed for the data analytics, that it can customized in the ETL process, and then the data will be made in the Hadoop. And from there, data analytical team will approach. They can create reports, alerts, visualizations, whatever it may from the data Hadoop. Then middle ETL tools come into the picture. Now, after 2-3 years, the business won't be same now. Business ideas will be increased now. Data processing also increased now. Then people again facing a problem with ETL process. Because more burden is happen on the ETL process based on the use storages and the business rules. Use changes in the business rules, ETL process taking the burden. Got my point, sir? So then what they will do is they decided to separate the ETL process. One is online process and batch processing. Na? For normal batch processing, they used to use Informatica, Talent, ADF like that. For batch processing, they use for online process, they use a Spark. Spark, sir. Okay, if you heard about Spark, Spark is the tool, ETL tool. Online process. It has a user storage compute engine. With that compute engine, it will process multiple data at a time. Big compute engine is that. But unfortunately, the Spark will work on cluster. Spark will work on cluster, but they don't have a own cluster. That's why it will take a help of Hadoop. Hadoop has his own cluster now. That's why every time if you observe Spark with Hadoop only. Sir, only Hadoop only Spark will provide? No, there is a third-party clusters also, Mesios clusters. There is a third-party clusters also there, Mesios cluster. With that cluster, so Spark can run. This is just a software, sir. Don't think of it in the robotic way. Just is like a computer, one software. On the cluster, this Spark will work. Now, people separated and happy with ETL process, and then maintaining the data in the Hadoop, and from there Hadoop data analytical team, Power BI, Tableau, or Splunk guys will come and query your data and report your data. Shall we understand it is entirely clearly in the process? In our olden days, normally we will directly drink the water from the taps itself. Okay, that means directly drink from the Hadoop itself. But what happened? People are not satisfied with the taste and other things. Then they decided to keep a filter. Okay, that is called ETL. They will filter it, transform it, clean it, and prepare it, and send to the Hadoop. And from there, we will get. Glass is the analytical team. We'll drink it with the water, glass. Understand? But nowadays, people are not satisfied with even filtering also. Why? Because Kohli is drinking alkaline water. I need to drink alkaline water. So that more filtering is option. So more filtering is the means normal traditional method is not sufficient. Then Spark came into the picture. Spark will do use filtering, alkaline water. Understand, sir? So here Power BI is a glass, bottle is a Splunk. Okay, depends. different tools you can use to analytical for drinking the water. Okay, now
Online process case Spark sir, batch process perform.
batch process also work, but they separated that activity. Both it will work. It has a use compute engine. It will process any type of data. Okay, but they separated the process for that. This they will use this one for this. They will use this one. But anyways, whatever it may be, this is database, ETL, and data warehouse. This we call it as DE, data engineering process. Data engineering process. In the olden days, there has a OLTP systems, that is database, sir. OLTP, OLTP, OLTP. That means online transactional process systems. That is called databases. Data warehouse, we call it as OLAP systems, online analytical process systems. But now OLTP and OLAP combined call it as a data engineering. AWS data, this all will be implemented on AWS data engineering. This all will be implemented on Azure data engineering. This all will be implemented on GCP data engineering. This all will be implemented on Snowflake data engineering. If all implemented on Hadoop with this like SQL, ETL, Hadoop, that is traditional data engineering. Okay, that means cooking process. In a home, wife is doing cooking process, whereas husband is doing eating process. That is data analyst. Okay, but wife also eating, sir. That's why wife is a data analytics. Data, he can cook the food, he can eat the food. Data engineer. Data analytics, sorry. Data analytics is nothing but a combination of both. Understand? In your home, chef is there. He will only cook. He will vent. He is a data engineer. Got my point? And data scientist, he will have a complete knowledge. Again, data analytics with external knowledge. Understand? Now, this is about data engineer. Now, this team will come with the data engineer, analyst, or data analytical process, or data scientist process. Now, we are come here. Okay, but whatever it may be, now this process understands, sir. Now, people are fed up with all this process again. Why? Because these all are on premises. That's why cloud came into the picture. Cloud databases come into the picture. In the cloud, AWS, RDS, Neptune are the databases. If it is Azure, SQL, Cosmo DB, SQL servers, Cosmo DB. If it is a GCP, Big Tables, Cloud SQL, there are the databases. If it is Snowflake database only. Now, in the ETL process, Informatica Cloud is there, Talent Cloud is there, ADF, Matillion, DBT, multiple tools are there. In the data warehouse, in the AWS Glue is the ETL. In the Azure, ADF is the ETL. In the GCP, Data Proc, Data Prep, Data Flow, Data Fusion is the ETL. Data warehouse, Hadoop na, Teradata na, Snowflake, Redshift, BigQuery, Synopsys. Redshift is the AWS. Azure is Synopsys. GCP, BigQuery. Third party. All people was implemented in the cloud. Clear, sir? This is about data engineering and data analyst knowledge. Any doubt? Now, come to our class. What is our class? Splunk. What is the Splunk? This is the data source. Okay. Needs to be collected and sent to Splunk. Splunk will receive the data and store the data. And stored data will be searched by some other server with a SPL and create reports, alerts, and dashboards. Understand, sir? Assume that this is the database. From there, I am collecting and I am receiving here. Okay. That means inputting. Input will be collected. After that, there is a props and transforms. Props and transforms. That means ETL process. And after that, this is a storage.
Sir, ఏం ప్రాసెస్ సార్?
ETL process, sir. Props to transforms means ETL process. This is a database, sir. From the database, I am collecting via input. And after that, with the props and transforms, I am customizing, transforming, cleaning, preparing, and everything. ETL process I am applying. And after that, I am storing in the Hadoop. Storages. Hadoop actually. File system. Now, Power BI Tableau will come and connect to Splunk, the storages, and creating visualization. Entire data engineering and data analyst process is doing. That means if you run the Splunk, you are a data engineer and you are a data analyst. And if you learn the SOC, you are a data engineer and data analyst with a cybersecurity knowledge, SOC analysis. That means you are equals to 10 courses in America. Database management, ETL operations, data warehouse operations, even data analytical operations you can do. Apart from that, cybersecurity operations you can do. Even if you know some algorithms, within the Splunk itself, there is an app. Here, if you use a search and report application, you are a data analyst. Search and report. If you use a ES application, you are a cybersecurity. If you use a machine learning toolkit, data scientist. Without knowing any algorithm, with apply and fit command, you can create a data algorithms also. Predictive operations also. So that means that Splunk has huge storage capacities in the form of clusters. Splunk will support in on-premises, even a cloud also. With AWS, Azure, GCP also it will be supported. Even Splunk cloud has its own Splunk cloud is there. Even Splunk on-premises also there. 3 possibilities are there. Splunk in own on-premises, Splunk on AWS, Azure, GCP, Splunk cloud itself. All 3 possibilities are there. These are the first 2 points why we are going with Splunk. We have more points we'll discuss on tomorrow class. Now you no need to remember entire thing. Only you need to remember 2 points as a Splunk guys. Splunk has huge storage capacities in the form of clusters. It can support for on-premises, AWS cloud, Azure cloud, GCP cloud, and Splunk cloud also available.
ఫస్ట్ నుంచి లాస్ట్ దాకా స్ప్లంక్ చేస్తారు. మామూలు ట్యాబ్లు పవర్ బై అంటే లాస్ట్ స్టెప్ చేస్తారు.
ఇక్కడ ఒకటి వస్తుంది. So this entire basically this only sir, every business needs to follow this process on. That process I am telling in the Splunk, that's it. One Splunk. Here multiple tools, multiple courses involved, but here in Splunk everything you are doing with one. There is a database. You need to get the data from the database. We'll use a Splunk. We'll get the data from Splunk. Okay, we'll collect it, we'll transform it, we'll clean it, we'll prepare it, and we'll store it. And storage data will be right by such query, SPL query. That means collecting, transforming, parsing, storing, and analyzing everything you are doing in the Splunk.
All kinds of data.
Any type of data.
Statistic techniques uses. Statistical techniques.
అన్నీ సార్,
Even uses.
అన్ని టెక్నిక్స్ యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు. మనం SPL query యూజ్ చేసి డేటా అనలిటిక్స్ ఆపరేషన్స్ యాజ్ వెల్ యాజ్ SOC ఆపరేషన్స్ చెప్తాం. ఇది స్టాటికల్ టెక్నిక్స్ అంటే మీరు ఏం ఎక్స్పెక్ట్ చేస్తున్నారు? అలా చేయాలంటే డేటా సైంటిస్ట్, అది మనకు అవసరం లేదు, మనం చెప్పాం. మనం డేటా సైంటిస్ట్ గురించి చెప్పట్లేదు, అది మిషన్ లెర్నింగ్ టూల్ కిట్ లో ఉంటుంది. సో ఆ ఆల్గరిథం తీసుకొని మనం ఫిట్ కమాండ్ అప్లై చేయడం, అప్లై అండ్ ఫిట్ కమాండ్ యూజ్ చేయడమే. ఆ టెక్నిక్స్ నేను చెప్పట్లేదు, ఎందుకంటే అది పెయిడ్ అప్లికేషన్. వీఆర్ నాట్ కవరింగ్ ద సైంటిస్ట్ ఆపరేషన్స్. But I'm telling you that is also possible with a machine learning toolkit.
టోటల్ ప్రాసెస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత అక్కడ సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ అనలిటిక్స్ అనేది మనం డిసైడ్ అవ్వాలి సార్ లాస్ట్ లో.
ఇక్కడ బిజినెస్ అనలిటిక్స్, బిజినెస్ డేటా వస్తుంటే బిజినెస్ అనలిటిక్స్, ఇక్కడ సాక్ అండ్ సెక్యూరిటీ అండ్ డేటా వస్తుంటే సెక్యూరిటీ ఆపరేషన్స్ చేస్తాం అంతే. ప్రాసెస్ అయితే సేమ్, కానీ వచ్చే డేటా బట్టి యూజ్ కేసుని బట్టి మన థింకింగ్ లో మనం అవుతాం. బేసిక్గా ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎ క్వశ్చన్, థింకింగ్ ఈస్ ద డెసిషన్ పాయింట్. నువ్వు ఎలా థింక్ చేసి ఎలా యూజ్ కేసు చేస్తున్నావు అనేది నీ రోల్. ఇక సెక్యూరిటీ డివైజెస్ డేటా వస్తున్నప్పుడు సెక్యూరిటీ యూజ్ కేసెస్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తే అప్పుడు నువ్వు సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ ఇంజనీర్ అయిపోతావు. బోత్ ఆల్ pay as you go మోడల్ ఉంది. యూ కెన్ ఇంప్లిమెంట్ విత్ ఇన్ ద కంపెనీ అవర్ హార్డ్వేర్ ఆర్ AWS క్లౌడ్.
కాకపోతే ప్రతి సిమ్ టూల్ కి ఇదే ప్రాసెస్ అప్లికేబుల్ అవుతుందా?
ఏ సిమ్టైల్ అయినా ఏ వర్క్ అయినా ఆర్గనైజేషన్లో ఇదే ఉంటుంది, కానీ అది మనం అర్థం చేసుకునే దానిలో ఉంటుంది.
డేటా కలెక్షన్ వరకు అర్థమైంది సార్. అక్కడ నుంచి దాన్ని అనలిటిక్స్ వైపు ఎలా వెళ్తుంది, సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ వైపు ఎలా వస్తుంది అనేది
ఇప్పుడు నీకు అర్థం కావట్లేదా?
నెక్స్ట్ మనం
ఇప్పుడు ఎక్కడికి వచ్చినా సరే డేటా సోర్స్ అనేది కామన్ కదా, డేటా స్టోరేజ్ వచ్చింది. ఇప్పుడు ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ మనకు వాటర్ ట్యాంక్లోకి వాటర్ వచ్చేసాయి, మనం బౌల్స్ కడగడానికి అదే వాటర్ వాడుతున్నాము, తాగడానికి అదే వాటర్ వాడుతున్నాం కదా. ఎలా తీసుకుంటున్నాం అంటే బౌల్స్ కడిగేటప్పుడు ఆ వాటర్ని బౌల్స్కి అని ఎట్లా వాడగలుగుతున్నాం, అది మన నాలెడ్జ్ అక్కడే ఉంది, అంతకు మించి ఏమి లేదు తేడా. ఆ నాలెడ్జ్ మన ఇంప్లిమెంట్, మన లాజికల్ థింకింగ్ ఆ డేటా మీద అప్లై చేసినప్పుడు మనం ఏంటి అంతే. యూజ్ కేసుని బట్టే ఇది తెలియ చాలా మంది తలలు బీక్కుంటారు సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీ అంటే ఏంటి అని. అసలు డేటా అనలిటిక్స్ కి సైబర్ సెక్యూరిటీకి డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి, అది లేకుండా అసలు ఎక్కడి నుంచి వస్తావు? అసలు నీకు వాటర్ యూసేజ్ ఎలా తెలియాలన్నప్పుడు నువ్వు బౌల్కి వాడతావు, ఇంకో దానికి వాడతావు, ఎట్లా తెలుస్తుంది నీకు? అసలు ఎనలిస్ట్ నాలెడ్జే మెయిన్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఎవరికైనా. అందుకనే సాక్ అనలిస్ట్ అన్నారు, అదండి సెక్యూరిటీ అనలిస్ట్ అన్నారు. లాజికల్ థింకింగ్ ఇస్ ద ఫస్ట్ క్వాలిఫికేషన్ ఫర్ ద అనలిస్ట్. దాన్ని ఎలా వాడుతున్నావు? నీకు డేటా వస్తుంది, ఇప్పుడు కారు ఇస్తావా, కారు ఇస్తే కారు ఒకలాగా నడుపుతావు, బైక్ ఇస్తే బైక్ ఒకలాగా, రెండు ఒకేలాగా నడుపుతావా? కానీ రెండేట్లలో నడిపేవాడిని ఏమంటారు? డ్రైవరే అంటారు. రెండిట్లను నడిపేవాడిని ఎవరంటారు? డ్రైవర్ అంటారు. సో ఎనలిస్టే. సో నువ్వు కార్ నడిపితే సాక్ అనలిస్టు, బైక్ నడిపితే డేటా అనలిస్ట్ అంటే బిజినెస్ అనలిటిక్స్. అంటే బిజినెస్ ఆపరేషన్స్ చేసి బిజినెస్ యూజ్ కేసు ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తే బిజినెస్ అనలిటిక్స్. సాక్ ఆపరేషన్స్ చేసి సెక్యూరిటీ అనాలిసిస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే సెక్యూరిటీ అనలిస్ట్. కానీ ఆ డేటాని ఆ అనాలిసిస్ క్రియేట్ చేయడానికి డేటా ఎలా తీసుకురావాలి, ఎలా చేయాలి, ఏ డేటా కావాలి, ఆ అంత నాలెడ్జ్ డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఆపరేషన్స్. దాన్ని మనం సిమ్ ఇంజనీర్ అంటాం. డేటా ఇంజనీర్నే మన దాంట్లో సెక్యూరిటీలో సిమ్ ఇంజనీర్ అంటాం. ఎస్ఐఎం ఏం చేస్తాడు? వాడు డేటాను కలెక్ట్ చేసి, కోరిలేట్ చేసి, కస్టమైజ్ చేసి, ఫిల్టర్ చేసి డేటాను అవైలబుల్ చేస్తాడు. పేర్లే మార్పు అంతే. ఇప్పుడు అర్థమైంది నీకు? అర్థమైనట్లు ఉంది. అర్థం కాని అన్ని పేపర్ మీద రాయి. క్లాస్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత తెలుగులో చెప్పేస్తాను. ఇంకా 2-3 రోజులు అయితే ఫీజులు కడితే ఒక తెలుగులో కూడా మాట్లాడతాం. అంటే ఫీజులు కట్టితే అంటే డబ్బులు కట్టారని కాదు, ఫీజులు కట్టిన వాళ్ళందరిలో ఇంగ్లీష్ వాళ్ళు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు, తెలుగు వాళ్ళు ఎంతమంది ఉన్నారు చెక్ చేసి అందరూ తెలుగు వాళ్ళు అయితే తెలుగులో మాట్లాడతా నా అర్థం. దయచేసి తప్పుగా అర్థం చేసుకోకండి. అందులో ఒక్కళ్ళు ఇంగ్లీష్ వాళ్ళు ఉన్నా నాకు తప్పదు ఇంగ్లీష్లోనే మాట్లాడాలి. టేబుల్ ఫార్మెట్, కమాండ్స్, టేబుల్, రీనేమ్, రీప్లేస్, సర్చ్, కార్ట్, ఎవాల్ కమాండ్ క్యాలిక్యులేషన్స్ కోసం, స్టాట్స్ కమాండ్ స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ కోసం అన్ని. అసలు ట్యాబ్లు చూస్తే ఇది మంది ట్యాబ్లు లాగానే ఉంటుంది, కానీ ట్యాబ్లు వాడికి డేటా ఇంజనీరింగ్ ఆపరేషన్స్ రావు. నేను ట్యాబ్లో నుంచి వచ్చినవాడిని కదా. ఇంకా డేటా మోడల్స్ అని ఉంటాయి ఇందులో. ఇంకా చూస్తే ఇంకా అచ్చం ట్యాబ్లూను డేటా పవర్ బి ఎలానే ఉంది. డ్రాగ్ అండ్ డ్రాప్ పీవర్డ్స్ ఉంటాయి. పీవర్డ్ టేబుల్స్ క్రియేట్ చేసి వాటిని స్టాటిస్టిక్స్ కింద క్రియేట్ చేయాలి. స్ప్లంక్ ఈఎస్ అంతా కూడా డేటా సెట్స్ మీదనే పనిచేసేది. అదే డేటా మోడల్స్ అంటాం. మనమేమో అసలు ఆ కోర్స్కి మన కోర్స్కి అసలు డిఫరెన్స్లే లేవు, మరి ఇదేది వీరు అని చెప్పుకుంటా ఉంటాం. అసలు అన్నీ ఇంటర్లింక్లే. దట్స్ ఆల్ ఎనఫ్. థ్యాంక్ యూ. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్. ఆన్లైన్ పీపుల్ ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే రేపు అడగొచ్చు మీరు. థ్యాంక్ యూ.